Hey guys, DM back with part 2 of my 4-star hero review. Let's pick up right where we left off and get right back into it. Let's talk about Wilbur. He's up in one of my current teams, so I did skip over him. This guy right here is another game changer. If you're lucky enough to get him from the Atlantis portal, 1000% get him done. As you can see, I've got some emblem levels into him. He's a monk class, although I'm not too fussed about the monk ability. It's more just extra shield and health for him, honestly. Average mana. Decent shield on his own. Nothing stellar or spectacular, but some emblems will help him out for sure. Attack stat is definitely middle of the road. Nothing too special. His skill, however, is probably, dare I say, the best 4-star skill out there. So all allies share received damage with each other for 4 turns. All enemies do the same thing. All allies get 63% defense for 4 turns. That is on par with Magni. That is on par with Vivica. As far as the defense buff goes, that's crazy good. All enemies get negative 44% defense for 4 turns. So you are debuffing the team and sharing damage. Why is this so cool? Well, a couple scenarios. Again, going back to your counter attackers, let's say you're fighting a team with an Elena tank and she is popped and there's an active counter attack. You hit him with Wilbur, who's going to do no direct damage, so he does not get hit on the counter attack. However, now that they all share the damage, you can hit the wings and go right through that counter attack. That's great. He is great versus Titans. As I said back when we were talking about Guardian Falcon, I always take him and I take Wilbur in against the Green Titans because, you know, it's not so much the share damage. Obviously, there's only one Titan at a time, but it's basically a 44% decrease in defense, which is huge. And the shared damage helps protect your red heroes. So if you're running a red hero that's flimsy, this guy right here can keep him alive because all 5 of your heroes are going to shoulder that damage and spread it out. Plus the attack buff, or I'm sorry, the defense buff it's madness. Level this guy, max him out, put emblems into him. He will not let you down. The only time that I've ever had a problem with him was during a raid, and I had a video on it. And because we were like down to the wire, and I was just about getting ready to kill the last hero, and because we had shared damage, I believe it was a sniper, maybe it was Sartana. She hit Wilbur and whoever else I had left. I had 2 heroes, and wound up killing us both because of the shared, shared damage. That's one time, and I can't tell you how many that something like that's happened. He's a great hero, bar none. So make sure you get him done. I did skip over Scarlet. This chick is a glass cannon. Horrible shield. There are 3 stars that have better shield than that. However, 767 is a crazy good attack stat. So I ran Scarlet on my Titan team for quite a while, purely because of the attack, the gem damage with that attack. So even if, and here's how the Titans work, even if your heroes die, you're still getting that multiplicative damage on the tiles. So you could be down to 1 hero and you're still throwing red tiles with the power of 5 heroes. So she might die. In fact, a lot of the time she did die, but that's okay. For what I used her for with Titans, she was good. I used her early on. She's another one of those, kind of like I said with Chow, kind of early to mid-game 4-star hero. No denying she hits hard. And the attack debuff for 6 turns, that's a long time to be debuffed. You know what I mean? It's a good skill. Overall, I like her. I just wish she was a little bit stronger. Shield wise, I would rather see, of course, I guess that's what makes her her. I was getting ready to say I'd rather see a little bit higher shield and a little bit lower attack, but that would just make her similar to a lot of the other heroes. So scratch that, leave her as she is. We'll accept her for who she is. Just be mindful that you're going to have to protect her if you do decide to level her up. I used her for a while, like I said, nothing wrong with her. She's just, she's flimsy. Exact same story with this guy. I'm not sure what his final stats are without popping over to Discord, but I'm going to say it's very similar to Scarlet. He's going to have a very high attack stat and a bullshit shield. He also causes himself 20% defense for 3 turns. That's a theme across the springtime event, Springvale, which is where this guy comes from. All the rabbit heroes give themselves a defense, a debuff, which can be a pain in the ass. It's undispellable, but one thing that you can do, at least with the 3 stars, is like with Gato, if you have a 4-star hero, and I'm off the top of my head, I can't necessarily think of any. 5 stars, you have Aaron, who I think would work as well. But if you have a hero that can prevent new status ailments, it will actually circumvent that debuff that they do to themselves. That is a thing. I tested that out on my 3-star team, and it totally works. So that's one way around it. Yeah, hits like a truck, I'm sure. That's kind of the gimmick on Springvale. They all hit like Mack trucks, but they can't take a hit. I'm still working Gretel, and I'm still working Hansel. They're almost identical, except for Gretel hits 3 targets, and I believe Hansel just hits 1. When the target's mana is full, they actually automatically take damage, and their mana reduces down to 50% for 3 turns. I haven't obviously used them yet, so I haven't studied it in action. I don't know if after those 3 turns the mana automatically pops back up to full for the enemies. I'm not too sure. So this one's kind of a question mark for me. Until I get some experience with her, I'm not prepared to say one way or the other, but I can definitely see the utility in the mana control. Any heroes that can control mana are worth having. So we'll stay tuned on her. I already talked about Regard, Jackal, Boltus, Boral, Grim, another glass cannon. I used him extensively, and here's full disclosure. I actually fed a maxed out Grim to, I can't even remember what hero it was now, to be honest. Maybe Magni back in the day. I got to the point where I didn't think I would use Grim anymore, and the reason is because he is, God bless it, he's flimsy. He's like some of these other heroes. He's a glass cannon. He hits relatively hard, but man, this guy cannot take a hit. He can't do it. The only flimsy heroes that I'm good with are the fighters, and that's because they have a chance of reviving, which I suppose helps a little. But in general, if you haven't noticed, I'm kind of the opinion that a good defense is the best offense. I like tanky heroes. I like heroes that can take a hit, that are going to stick around. That's just my style. So I loved him growing up, so to speak. I loved him, but I kind of outgrew him, and he was dying more than he was helping. So I just I said, Grim, old buddy, old pal, it's time to go, and I fed him. And later on down the road, and I believe this was before even war started. I'm fairly accurate. I'm fairly confident that that's the case. I don't think war had even begun when I fed him. So I was like, I just don't use the guy anymore. I'm gonna feed this shiny new 5-star I got. Now I wish I still had him. So I've got him again in the portal. Now I've got him up to 4-1, which is where he's currently sitting. I plan on finishing him. I think he can be useful. You just have to protect him. Like a lot of these heroes, these glass cannons, it's great when they pop. Ramming Pulverizer. There's 3 heroes that are 4 stars that all have that same exact skill. They're all average mana. They're just 3 different colors. You got Grim, you got Tibby, and you got Gormek. All 3 of them do the same thing, and it's a great skill. 6 turns is a long time to have a debuff, so good stuff. This guy, here's the thing about this guy. I honestly don't care too much about him. I haven't really used him, so maybe my opinion will change. At the time I started feeding this guy, honestly, I did not have any other reds to feed. This was before I decided to go ahead and put some 3 stars back together, and I was to the point that I had no other reds to feed. I had a couple other options, but I figured, okay, let's do some 4 stars. He was the red 4 stars before I got Bold Tusk. Long story short, I fed him because I didn't really have a great option or alternative. We'll see. I've already got him to 4-1. I've already spent the Ascension materials on him, so I'm gonna max him, and we're gonna see. We're gonna see what I think. Hansel, we talked about. Again, he hits a single target as opposed to his sister hitting 3 targets. He hits a single target a bit harder. I'm not sure on max stats yet. I think they're pretty similar. I mean, they're twins, so that makes sense. We'll see. Again, haven't got him done yet. And that's pretty much it. As far as the ones I've got leveled, we'll touch on a couple others. Again, this guy right here, 100% I fed him. I fed him to I can't remember who. He was maxed. He was pissing me off with that freeze. And this was after war started. You know, I was just pissed off at him, is the bottom line here. I was tired of him. I mean, every time it says a third of a chance on this deal, or you assume it's a third of a chance, he's got 3 options. So 33% of the time he's gonna flip and hit himself in the foot and not gain mana for 2 turns. But I swear to you, as sure as I'm sitting here right now, I swear to you, it's more like 50% for me. And maybe it's different for you guys. Maybe you get this guy and you've used him and you like him. He's a placeholder in my roster right now because I need X number of heroes of every color for my ultimate goal. I will be honest, if I get another yellow hero, I will probably eat this one too. I do not plan at this time on leveling him. He is part of a family, which Mitsuko, Cage, who else? Mitsuko, Cage, Proteus maybe? No, Proteus is one of the other families. Who is it? Mitsuko, Cage. Who else is in that family? Oh, Sumitomo. I swear there was another one that I had. I guess not. Anyway, he's part of the family with those really good heroes, so an argument could be made if you are planning on running 5 of these heroes to get the 12% mana generation bonus. And if I was going to do it, it would be all 5. It wouldn't be just 2 or 3. To me, limiting yourself to just those heroes on a team would have to give you some big rewards. Not that, Mitsuko and Cage are outstanding heroes. Sumitomo, I don't know. Danzaburo, I'm not a fan. But he does have some redemption in the fact that, he's got that family link going for him. Other than that, we just don't see it eye to eye. So he's just kind of sitting in my roster. This guy right here, so Bob has done a lot of work with him, and he'll tell you he's a great hero. I think some other banders as well have got him and used him, leveled him. He's a tanky old thing. Clearly I don't have anything on him yet, but as I understand, he is tanky enough as a slow hero to be viable. His regen, his damage is not really what I'm fussed about. It's just kind of a bonus. 30% attack for himself and allies is good. It's a big regen. It's a bit, 360 points over 4 turns. That's nice. Which, again, going back to Triton, if you run him on a team with Triton, they would synergize very well together. So it would take 360, and I can't remember what the percent is on Triton, 30, maybe 40%, something around in there. So 3672, another 150 on top of that, give or take. So now you're at 510, 520 regen over 4 turns. Pretty good. I don't have him done yet, so I can't really say much past that. All I know is, from what I hear, chatter in the Alliance, people like him. So he is the defense family, I think. Yep. 20% defense is not small with 5 heroes. Let's see what Triton is. I think Triton might even be the same. Yeah, he is. So there you go. Not only do they synergize with their skills, but they have a family synergy as well. So run those two together. That's the way to do that. Let's see. Pretty much everybody else. This guy. I said Boral was the best tank at 4-star, and I stick by that. This guy's number 2. Even over Buddy. Because the thing is 38%. Let's go to the portal quick. I don't want to lie to you. I don't know if that number changes as he gets a special skill level, or if his fire resistance increases. He's a monster as a tank. He really is. If you don't have Boral, then I would say, and if you have this guy, I would say he's your tank. Sometimes the hero that you're looking for just is not in the portal. Where you at, Lizard Boy? So 648. His health is huge. It does go up. So 45%. Remember when I said Regard was the best healer? Well, I stick by that, but percentage-wise, 45% is, I think, 3% more than what Regard does. Now, he only does it for himself and allies, but that's huge. It's a huge buff. 45%, that's half your health. 94% defense against fire. Basically, when this guy pops, it just pisses you off, because he heals himself half of his health bar, and now you can't use fire against him for 3 turns. So you're throwing gems and all kind of crap at him, which is just going to charge him up again, and he's going to heal again. It is not uncommon when I fight this guy, even with a great raid team, for him to pop twice before I can kill him. And he's healing the flanks at the same time, so he just pisses you off. He's a great tank, so definitely show him some love. Would not be afraid to emblem him up. I've got other options for the sorcerer or wizard class. I've got other options, which is the reason that he doesn't have emblems yet. But I'd be happy to give him emblems. He's like I said, if you don't have Boral and you're looking at a 4-star for a tank, this is your guy. He's a pain. Every time I'm trying to put a video together, this is my life all day. Call you back, Jeremiah. Alright, Colin. Don't have him max. I think Sarge has him done, a few other people. Well, let's take a look in the portal. Let me tell you what I think, just based off his stats. I've not had him maxed. He's another one that I have him, but I didn't get him until kind of recently, and then I got like 2 of him. Nope. I don't like him. Why don't I like him, class? That's right. Slow mana. Crap shield. I understand. As I understand, this guy really hits hard. And that slow burn sucks. Honestly, 330 damage is great. But it's another one of those kind of like Little John. It's not. It just doesn't do it for me. So I'm sorry. He is a fighter class, so you've got that. Like I've said before. Maybe he revives, maybe he doesn't. But do you really want to, base using him around a 5% chance to revive himself? I'm not sure you do. Your mileage may vary. We use who we have, so don't take this video as, hey, if you like Colin, use him. This is just my opinion, one of many opinions. Take it for what it is, which is an opinion. But for me, not so much Colin himself, but any hero like him, slow with a weak shield, I'm just automatically pissed off at. I just can't help it. Not for me. Sorry, Colin. Sabina, just like Melindor, exact same skill. I think she's 42% heal at 8 out of 8 skill. Dispels buffs from all enemies. Great hero. I had her pretty early on too. And there I go again. I fed her. I sure did. And I can't ever remember who I wound up feeding some of these heroes to, but I fed her, and I couldn't even tell you why, to be honest. I guess I just wasn't using her for whatever reason at the time. I don't know. It is what it is. I fed her, bottom line. But I'm going to get her back up again and right my wrongs and hang on to her, because she is decent. Let's check her out in the portal. I think her stats are a little bit more balanced than Melindor's, if I remember correctly. So Melindor's 714 and 586. 699 and 578. Really? I guess I misremembered. She's she's about the same. So I suppose everything I said about Melindor applies here. Just a different color and a different gender. Other than that, they're the same. I think Melindor's a druid and she's a sorcerer. So there is that. Otherwise, they're functionally identical. Hu Tao. Sarge has this guy maxed. He uses him pretty extensively. I think at one point he pulled him and started to run Chow to see how he liked it, and I think he wound up going back to Hu Tao. He is slow as molasses. Let's check him out in the portal. We can find him in this one probably easier. His shield is not great. It is not Colin level or Little John level bad. There's something to work with.